Welcome back. That was rousing. We were kind of dancing and moving around here in the studio. And I'm moving around here with Kimberly Nelson from Philanthropy.
Good morning.
Good morning. And you brought a guest with you.
I did. I brought Bev Franklin from the Philanthropy
Bev.
Committee, who's a resident at Green Spring. But wasn't that a great musical performance?
It was. It was terrific.
Yeah, so for those residents who missed it, that was Dina Javor. She was one of the entertainers for the Presidential Service Awards. And so that particular program, which will recognize the many, many volunteers who contribute 100 hours or more in 2018, that is going to re-air tomorrow and Friday at the 2 and 8 program time slot. So
I'll tune in so I can hear the whole thing.
Yeah, so you can hear the whole thing and the speeches, and it was really a great afternoon. So turn in your volunteer hours.
Yes, get
so
ready
hopefully
for next year.
Yes, exactly. Well, we have lots going on in philanthropy, and so I wanted to just do a few highlights.
Okay.
And yes, of course. So first, I want to do a quick shout out to the Treasure Chest to thank them for their patience during this sort of temporary break.
I've heard some residents say they're piling up things in their apartments ready to donate.
Well, and and we appreciate that. And so they are working on the new space, and we've met with the leadership and walked through some of the fixtures for the new space. And
Did they finally get a building permit for the new space? Last I heard they were waiting for that.
I think they're waiting on one particular permit to help connect the two spaces.
Oh, okay.
So some of the work has been done and some of it is waiting on something special.
They've done as much as they can do.
It's a little more complicated. But we're real excited about the space, and Carla Harding is doing an article in the Villager, and so just keep an eye on those articles for updates and information, and we're coming back. Don't worry.
I'm sure people will be excited.
Just be patient with us.
Good.
But now we want to talk about scholarships and education.
It's that time of year.
It is that time of year, isn't it?
Yes,
Bev?
it is.
It really is. And when we think of spring and graduation and education, and it's really a sort of a double edge, because we're really excited for our seniors to graduate here at Green Spring and go on to college. We're also sad when some of them go to colleges that are farther away and we don't see them in the dining room every week.
That's right. We miss them.
So it's sort of a
double-edged sword.
Right.
Yes. So what we've done this year is in the Showgirls windows, the displays are up for the students, and we have 39 students. And if you look at Village Square, there are not 39 scholars in the window.
Okay.
So the Village Square window are only the servers or students who work in the Village Square neighborhood.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. And then at Jefferson, of course, it's the Jefferson students, but it is also Town Center, because the Town Center windows are closed for construction purposes.
Yes.
And so we want folks to look at both windows to get a full picture of all the students.
So if you live in Town Center, take a walk over to Hunter's Crossing.
Yes,
and, look at the
and you'll
windows there.
see your folks over there.
Yeah.
So we want you to know that. But what that means is we're trying to raise scholarships for 39 students.
That's a bunch.
And that's a bunch.
It's a bunch. That's
But
right.
part of the process for the 39 students is they all have to sort of do an interview with the Philanthropy Committee.
Let's go over that for a second, because I hope that we have some new residents here who don't know about the process. We're not just handing out $10,000.
You are correct.
What do they have to do?
So they have to do 1,000 hours at Green Spring. So this scholarship is really for part-time students in high school who work at Green Spring, typically 2 years or more to get those hours. That's typical. One of the components that they have to also do is an interview with the Philanthropy Committee.
I bet that's scary. That's probably the first time they've had an interview.
And that's why the committee does it.
Good.
And so I know Bev was at some of the interviews.
Yes.
What was your impression of the interviews and some of the students?
Well, they came very well prepared.
Good.
They were dressed nicely.
That's good.
They were very articulate. They knew what was going on. They'd done all their homework as far as getting all the paperwork done and handed in. They also needed a certain
grade point
grade point average.
Yeah.
Yes, and they did.
Yep.
And they're very high. Most of them, the majority are very high.
Yeah.
You know,
They weren't sort of borderline
No,
at the
they
grade
weren't.
point.
They
They're
weren't
above.
just sneaking through.
no,
Yes.
they weren't, and they were excellent. It was enjoyable.
Can I ask you, what kinds of questions do we ask them?
Oh dear. What are you going to do when you get into college? That's one. We also ask them. Oh dear.
Sometimes they want to know a little bit about their experience at Green Spring.
Okay.
Yes.
Or
yeah.
because not everyone in the committee knows all the students.
Of course not.
Because maybe you don't go
That's
to that
true.
dining room.
Right.
No, that's true.
So I would say the committee also tries to get to know all of them more equally, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the interviews is I'm not in the interviews.
Okay.
Okay? And that really is on purpose because we want to make sure there is no misconception that this is an employee benefit versus a scholarship.
I understand. That's very wise.
And so, just sort of from that point of view, it is a scholarship. It is managed through the committee. Our office just helps sort with the paperwork.
Kind of the administration.
Yes, but they have all the final decision making. So that's why our office is not in the interview. So I couldn't even tell you what they asked.
But that's a good thing.
That's probably a good thing.
That really proves
that's-
that you're out of it.
Yeah, but that's sort of my understanding of the types of things that I recall them mentioning to me.
It was very good, and we enjoyed it.
I'm sure it was
As a committee,
interesting.
we enjoyed it a lot, meeting them, talking to them.
Yeah.
And they answered the questions wonderfully.
Yeah.
Good.
They
So
knew what they were doing.
That's good. So,
But-
but it sounds to me like they're very mature.
Yes, they are.
yeah, it's very exciting when you see young people, some where English is a second language, they may be first generation to college. It may be a sibling who worked here and got the scholarship,
Yes.
and now it's the younger brother or
Yes,
sister
I've seen that.
coming, and so you sort of see the family tradition of the importance of education,
Right.
which is very exciting. And so, Bev, I wondered if you could hold up your name badge just steady so they have time to zoom in. If you could hold, let's see, are we holding it the right way?
Yes, this right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they're gonna zoom in. I'm not sure which one. We're just gonna hold it steady.
There we
while-
go.
While they figure, there you go. So this yellow ribbon on her name badge, it says, I support the scholars. When you make a donation to the scholarship fund, when you get your letter from our office, we're gonna send you that with this ribbon that you can choose to put on your name tag or not, but we think it really is lovely to show your support of the students, if you would be so inclined. And then at the top of Bev's
This is the
pin,
gem.
What is that pin?
she is showing the GEM, GEM pin, and this is to signify that Bev and her husband give monthly on their monthly bill to either the scholars or the benevolent care fund. And so when residents see these pins, that means someone is choosing to give every month, and you're a gem. Give every month.
Oh, I got it. I'm a little slow.
That's okay.
Give every month.
Give
Gem.
every month. I'll just show. Give every month so you can sort of understand our logic.
So in the letter you sent to us, there
Yes.
was explanation about the GEM program, and was there paperwork there also? Obviously, I haven't looked at it very carefully yet.
So to sign up for the GEM program, it is in this brochure. There is a form on the back that
Okay.
you can fill out and turn into our office. And it's really simple. where you can then choose to give to the programs here through your monthly bill. Now, we have residents who prefer not to do that,
Sure.
which is fine.
Just give a check.
Write a check, drop
Right.
it in our office. We really need to raise $390,000 to support 39 scholarships.
That's a lot of
And,
money.
and
We can
we're-
do it.
We can do it, but it means we need to get everyone to give a little, so collectively it makes a difference.
So what if I lost my letter? I promise I didn't. I know right where it is.
Okay.
But someone might have lost their letter.
So if you wanted to do the giving and you lost this, they are also at the front, at the mailboxes, you know, those slots.
Sure.
So there are also extra there as well as in our office.
Okay.
So you can fill out the form. We must have a form with a signature
Sure.
to do something on your
For this
monthly
program.
bill. I really am very passionate that I want to make sure I have authorization before we just bill something
Of
to you.
course, I think that would
Okay?
be wise.
Now, if you say, oh, I'm just going to write a check, then we have giving envelopes in our office, but you
Okay.
can use any envelope.
You really don't care as long as there's a check in
As
it.
long as they're checking
Yes,
address
and you
to-
don't have to mail it. You just take it to the front desk and put it in the scholar slot. You make the check out to Green Spring Village Inc. You put scholars.
We want to make sure that people just don't put Green Spring.
Green Spring Village Inc. is our official name. Okay, that's always easier with the IRS and the bank.
Yes, right.
And scholars either in the memo section or somewhere, so we know it is a scholar-specific designation. That is helpful.
Now, this program is not tax deductible,
No,
correct?
this one is
This is tax deductible. Okay.
100% as allowed by law
I'm glad
based
I
on your
asked.
situation.
Okay.
Yes, 100% tax deductible. And then for residents who either are new to Green Spring or maybe just have more questions about the program, the Philanthropy office is doing sort of a Scholars Fund question and answer period
Okay.
this Thursday at 2 p.m. in the Village Square card room. This is very informal. I'll have a few highlights of the program
questions.
for an overview, but really it's come with your questions because especially if you're new, you go, well, tell me again, how do they get the scholarship? And where can they go?
Right.
So they can go to a college or university. They can go to Northern Virginia Training School, community college. They can go to a trade school. We've had students get their cosmetology license.
Great.
Trade. So as long as it's an accredited, sort of approved program,
Then it's okay.
then we want to support
So that
whatever
is-
your career aspiration is.
That is this Thursday,
This Thursday at 2 o'clock in the card room.
Village Square card room.
Village Square card room, very informal Q&A.
Okay.
And then quickly next week on Thursday, April 18th,
Uh-huh.
shopping, ladies, shopping in Hunter's
Oh,
Crossing.
This is the style show.
Clothes, jewelry, scarves, cash and credit.
And a percentage of what they sell there will
We'll
go
go
to philanthropy.
to scholars.
Good.
And there's a fashion show at 1 o'clock. So 11 o'clock shop, 1 o'clock fashion show.
Okay.
We'll always have cookies, of course.
Of course. There's a reason to go. Free food you've got.
Yeah,
made.
there's always cookies. So please come.
Okay.
And with Mother's Day around the corner, gentlemen, it's a good reason to buy the lady or mother in your life a little scarf or jewelry or token of something.
That's a good idea.
So please come by and enjoy the day.
Sounds like a winner.
There's a lot going on. Isn't
Yes,
there?
there is a
But
lot.
And
most
we're
of-
out of time.
Oh, but it's all for students in education. So
And that's the
please,
most important
please
part.
support the Scholars Fund. It's really
Great.
important.
Great. Thank you so much for coming, both of
Thank
you.
you.